We're going to start today's video on the beach. So one of my favorite things to do is to look for small treasures. I really enjoy looking for fossils and shark teeth in particular. So I wanted to share a few clips with you all from a recent trip I had finding shark teeth and shark vertebrae and other fossils on the beach. I feel there's a common theme with these pursuits, both art and treasure hunting. There's something about the anticipation of not knowing exactly what you will find and that thrill that happens as soon as you discover something new. I just think it's amazing to find something that's tens of thousands, if not millions of years old, and that no human has ever touched before. And I'm going to be selecting one of these to paint because painting a subject like this that I'm really interested in actually helps me maintain my focus and capture my imagination all over again. So here are all the shark teeth and fossils that I found on a single trip, and I'm going to be selecting just one to do a painting of. And I decided to pick a snaggletooth shark tooth, and this one here on the top left is going to be my choice. I've had the idea to paint single objects like this one on bright backgrounds for some time. That concept was inspired by Hunt Sloanum's bunnies. He does these warm-up paintings of bunnies, very loose, very abstract, but on these very bright backgrounds. You know, I think the idea of doing a very dark subject like this would pop really well off of a bright yellow background, and so that's what I'm going to do. I'm using a divider tool here to transfer my drawing, so I'm basically measuring the original photograph and then scaling up my drawing onto this yellow acrylic background. I want to emphasize for this type of work, the drawing doesn't have to be perfect, right? It's an organic shape, it's a natural object. I'm just trying to get a rough outline started. And I'm just going to start by painting a very dark background, and from there start adding in midtones and highlights. So here we go. Now, similar to the drawing at this stage, I'm not trying to be too perfect with this. I'm not trying to match the photograph exactly by any means. I'm just trying to put down some dark colors, some dark Payne's gray, some ivory black, and just kind of mush them all together. I just want to kind of capture the big areas as best I can. And again, I'm not trying to be a perfectionist with this. As I continue to add more and more colors and more layers, then I'll start to refine the marks that I'm making more and more, and try to at least capture to some degree the level of detail that I'm seeing. Now, looking back on this, I probably should have printed out this tooth at a larger size so I could be even more precise with the textures and the line work that I'm going to be adding, even starting right now. Like with all art, it's all an abstraction. No matter how realistic you make it, it's still a interpretation of what you're actually seeing. And if anyone sees this tooth painting in real life, they're not going to have the reference material to look at and compare, so it doesn't really matter if it's exact or not. You may have noticed that I did take some artistic license and actually fill in a corner of the tooth on the top left where it was actually missing from the original fossil. Sometimes I do paintings of these teeth and I paint them exactly as they are, and they're, meaning if there's damage or missing parts, I'll just leave that way and capture it as best I can. But in this case, I felt like it really would enhance this image to have it be more symmetrical and have it look more whole. So again, as I've said in other tutorials, quote unquote tutorials, it's not so much as a step-by-step process for me. I mean, it's not a very linear process in the sense of this is exactly the steps I follow. I tend to paint, background to foreground. Obviously, that makes sense, as well as dark to light. But sometimes I break those rules. And in this case, I tend to go back and forth, right? So I started with very darkest colors first, added some medium tones. Then I went back and added a few more darker lines, and then I started adding white highlights. And as I go through this process, I'll just continue to bounce around, right, and work through those different steps over and over again. I would just say that there's always a rough stage to these paintings, and I feel like you have to just trust this process. I've said that 1,000 times, but just know that it's going to continue to get better for the most part. Now, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes paintings don't turn out as well as you think they could or should, and you may have to paint over them or start over, and that's fine. But in most cases, things start to come together, and that was the case for this one. As you can see, by this point, I'm feeling really, really good about where this is headed, and I'm just enjoying the process, honestly. In fact, from this point on, it's really just about minor details and touch up, and just continue to push it forward. Usually in my videos at this point, I start to ask you all questions, right? Like, is this working for you? Are these things that you enjoy seeing? Are these videos helpful, right? Are you getting out of this what you expected or hoped for when you clicked on the thumbnail? I think I enjoy sharing this work with everyone and getting feedback on my art in general, but I also really enjoy connecting with you all as a community, and I appreciate the comments and the questions, and just anything really that you guys give me as far as feedback is concerned. I want to be helpful. I want these videos to be useful. So, I'm probably going to experiment a little more with painting in real time in the future. So that might look like only seeing a single step in this process, like maybe just adding highlights, right? Or just adding shadows, or something to that degree. I'm going to be doing more watercolor videos in the future, because that's something I'm exploring right now. I've already started to post some of those. So yeah, if you stumble upon this video and you've made it this far and you like this stuff, or you're interested in more, please drop me a comment, hit me up on Instagram. Let me know what you're interested in, what you like, any suggestions for future content, future artwork, whatever you'd like to see. I'm more than open at this point in having this be collaborative, and taking your feedback and using it to make better content. Now, I really appreciate you for stopping by, more than you guys know. Thank you for checking this out. I hope it was helpful again. Please like and subscribe and share with others if you feel inclined to do so. And let me know what you want to see more of, and I'll do my best. I don't always publish videos as consistently as maybe others, but this isn't my full-time thing. So I have a job, I have a life, I have children, busy as all of us are. This is kind of a hobby, or I would say very serious hobby for me at this point. But I'll do my best. So thanks again. Appreciate you. Let me know what you think. Hope you have a good one. Peace.